From flavorless sodas to knockoff Ipods, here's 15 of the worst products ever made. Hey, I'm Roxiemon, and here's a bunch of garbage that we found on the internet.
Number 15.
Shasta Soda.
Brother,
There's nothing quite like the taste of carbonated misery. Shasta Soda, like a hug from your uncle who still owes you money. Shasta Soda, for children whose parents never loved them. Shasta Soda, like drinking a car battery, but cola flavored. Shasta Soda, for millennials whose rent check bounced. Just kidding, none of us know how to use a checkbook. This soda tastes like nothing and never reached the levels of its rivals like Coke, Pepsi, or even RC Cola. And with one sip, you would understand why.
Number 14.
Microsoft Zune.
Oh my god, what is that?
The Zune was Microsoft's attempted competitor to Apple's newly released iPod. By the time the Zune launched in 2006, Apple had already cornered the market on portable music players, so there really wasn't much in the way of competition. The Zune did have a built-in FM radio, and you could wirelessly sync it to your PC, which was pretty progressive even for 2006. Wait, really? You could Huh. Maybe I should have gotten one. Their tagline, "Welcome to the social," made no sense, and the App Store was boring and hardly had any content to offer. The device didn't work well with outside software, and Microsoft ended the gimmick in 2011. I've never known anyone to have owned a Zune, and the only place I had ever actually heard of it before was when my mom used to binge watch The Big Bang Theory. So I think that describes this project pretty well.
Number 13.
Google Glass. Despite being a cool concept, it turns out that people weren't super fond of wearing a computer on their face in public yet. In 2013, the Google Glasses were released to the world. These glasses were equipped with a built-in camera and a small display in the corner that would notify you of text messages, directions, and phone calls. It even had voice commands, so the government could hear how much you talk to yourself in the car. Although it was too ahead of its time for the general public, it worked for Cookie from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. God, so I remember my brother was obsessed with this thing when he first heard about it and would not stop trying to get me to, spend the little money that I had on getting in on the ground floor of this. I knew a smarter way to invest my money. Pokemon plush toys.
Number 12.
Crystal Pepsi. In 1992, Pepsi came up with the genius idea to release the same product, but clear. The novelty lasted for a bit, but by the mid-1990s, interest had dropped and the soda was discontinued. In 2016, YouTuber LA Beast campaigned to bring the clear soda back, and, although only for a short time, was successful. LA Beast, isn't that the guy who ate glue?
this is the gel and it kind of tastes like a fart.
Consumers claimed that it had a different, more mild taste, but I guess it wasn't quite enough to keep the gimmick going. I always heard that it tasted like flat Sprite. We do appreciate the LA Beast for fighting so hard to bring back a piece of our childhood. Have a good day! Our childhood? How fucking old do you guys think I am?
Number 11.
The Ford Pinto. Look, naming a vehicle after a bean is a pretty interesting idea, but that's not even the worst part. In 1971, the Ford Motor Company introduced a car to match the recent interest in smaller, more fuel-efficient vehicles. The car wasn't vetted very well before release, though, and came with a mountain of safety concerns. Mostly that, if you were rear-ended, the car could just burst into flames! The gas tank was irresponsibly placed next to the rear axle, so upon impact, it would send the metal axle straight through the gas tank and BAM! You just won $1 million! Well, not you. You're dead! But your family is now rich enough to go to space on the weekend, like that bald-headed Amazon prick did. Hopefully the rocket isn't a Ford this time, because that would be ironic.
Number 10.
The Apple Newton. Back in 1993, the Apple Corporation was busy coming up with a PDA phone that would revolutionize the market. Unfortunately, it was poorly made and the handwriting recognition was garbage, so people weren't very interested. It came with apps like Calendar, Address Book, Notepad, and other basic office software, so basically it was like an iPhone in the 1990s. In the 90s, nobody had apps on anything, so, pretty good gimmick. But because this was the 90s, the battery life was shit, so you had to charge it all the time. It turns out that having to charge a portable device every 30 minutes doesn't make it very portable. The phone also cost around $700, so that would be about $1,500 today. Considering rent was only around $500, that is roughly 3 months' rent on a phone in a time where everyone already had a landline. The Palm Pilot came around in the late 1990s with a much better device that caught on and was a huge craze around the turn of the new millennium. While I don't remember the Apple Newton, I do remember Fig Newtons, and they almost killed my brother when he was like 2 because he ate way too many of them and didn't know how to chew yet, and I don't really like him very much, so buy Fig Newtons, not Apple Newtons.
Number 9.
New Coca-Cola. In the mid-1980s, a lot was changing. The Soviet Union was collapsing, Reaganomics was ravaging the American people, Morrissey wasn't a complete asshole yet, and the suits at Coca-Cola were drumming up one of the dumbest ideas in a long, long time. By the way, I had to Google these things because I wasn't born yet.
Settle down.
But the geniuses at Coke performed blind taste tests to introduce a new product called New Coke, which is a stupid name, although the taste tests for it were pretty positive. Little did they know, people are really connected to the original, and most of us don't like change, so when New Coke hit the shelves, people were literally marching in the streets. Literally, people marched in the streets over a new soda. God, the 1980s were weird. The media caught wind of this debacle, and Coke immediately realized their mistake. They phased out New Coke 3 months later and renamed regular Coke as Coke Classic. Despite its failure, Coke was still able to turn it around and regain their reputation.
Number 8.
Clippy. Introduced in Microsoft Office 1997, Clippy was part of a suite of interactive assistants designed to help users with tasks in Microsoft Office applications. Although it is hard to be productive when you have a dancing paperclip in the corner of your screen trying to fuck with you, and when you did give in and interact with him, he was completely useless. He would often show a speech balloon with tips that had nothing to do with what you were working on, and the feature quickly became the butt of internet jokes. They released several iterations of Clippy in later years, but over time he was slowly phased out. Despite being a pain in the ass, though, his legacy has endured in pop culture and is seen as an homage to both bad design choices and millennium-age culture. Clippy paved the way for other virtual assistants like Siri, so give the guy some credit. Poor guy even had to have an emergency C-section. If you want to know more about that, Google Operation Paperclip.
Number 7.
The Segway. Here's a segue for ya. If you've seen Paul Blart Mall Cop, then you should be pretty familiar with this one. The Segway was marketed as some revolutionary new personal transportation, but never quite lived up to the hype. The machine was way overpriced and moved at a speed barely faster than actually just walking. Not to mention that you looked stupid riding it. The Segway was designed like a modern hoverboard, but with handlebars. Leaning forward allowed the machine to go, but if you leaned too far, you were bound to slam your head on the pavement and eat shit in front of everyone. The thing couldn't go off-road either, so you were limited to pavement or dirt. And that dirt better be smooth and even, or else down you go! It should be no shock to anyone that it quickly became more of a novelty item than a serious mode of transport. In 2010, Jimmy Hendelson, the then owner of the Segway company, actually met his end as a result of the Segway. In an ironic twist of fate, the longtime Segway hobbyist accidentally rode it off a cliff. I think that speaks for itself.
Number 6.
The Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Have you ever wanted to catch on fire while using your cell phone?
No!
I would hope that the answer is no. The Samsung Galaxy Note 7 was released in August 2016, and although it was only on the market for barely 2 months, it reminded people of the importance of product safety. It even got so bad that airlines banned the phones altogether. The phones were recalled worldwide and were quickly replaced, but the replacements caught fire too.
Number 5.
Juicero. What would happen if a bunch of suit dummies in Silicon Valley made a product that was overpriced and useless? Enter the Juicero! The Juicero was destined to fail from the start, as it was a $400 Wi-Fi connected juicer. That's right, you connect a juicer to your Wi-Fi to squeeze juice into your glass, instead of doing it by hand like a normal person. The juicer also required proprietary single-serve packets in order to do its job, so that's even more money you're dumping into it. In the end, consumers realized that you could just buy the packets and squeeze the juice out by hand, which made the juicer flat out useless. So, as much as I rip on people for being stupid, this is one of the very rare times that common sense got a W.
Number 4.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial for the Atari 2600. Atari's E.T. the Extraterrestrial is widely regarded as one of the worst video games ever made. After the box office success of E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Atari rushed to make a video game version in just 5 weeks in the hopes to have it out by Christmas. You can probably guess that it didn't work out very well. The game was buggy and cheap and just didn't make it very clear what you were even supposed to do in the first place. It was mostly just falling into holes, trying to climb back out of them, falling in again, giving up. The game had almost nothing to do with the source material and was a critical failure. Atari ordered 4 million cartridges to be made, which was rumored to be more than the actual number of Atari 2600s that had been sold up to that point. As there was nothing else to really do with them at that point, Atari had to do something to get rid of all of that inventory. So they did what any self-respecting company would do. They dumped it in the desert. In 2014, the long-lasting rumors of the Atari 2600 cartridge landfills had been proven true when they were discovered in a landfill in Alamogordo, New Mexico. This, among several other commercial failures, had been what contributed largely to the video game collapse of 1983. I actually bought a copy of this game a long time ago for $1. It's kind of like owning a piece of video game history. A really, really shitty piece.
Number 3.
Forever 21 Diet Bars. In 2019, clothing brand Forever 21 made the bizarre decision to send diet bars with their plus-sized online orders. I'm actually surprised that I am only just now hearing of this one because I used to shop there all the time until they closed earlier this year. I understand the sentiment, but nothing says fat-shaming like including an Adkins bar in my plus-sized dress order. If you sell clothes, please just do that. Leave me and my dress addiction alone.
Number 2.
Hoverboards. Were they a cool idea? Maybe, although it's hard to hoverboard on a board that doesn't hover, and even better, has a tendency to catch on fire. These holiday favorites are a sure win for your ADHD, TikTok, brain-rotted children if you want to cook them like a marshmallow. Children love them? Insurance companies? Not so much. Maybe we should stop making these products that just kind of burst into flames. No? Alright, whatever.
Number 1.
Betamax. Alright, I'm gonna be real with you. This is in the script. I don't know what this is. Like, I feel like I've heard the word before, but just give me like 5 seconds. Let me Google this. So apparently they were a direct rival to the VCR and VCR format. I don't know what that means. Okay, so they were their own media format, like DVD and like Blu-ray and stuff, but they had sharper image quality and better sound to VHS, but they had a much shorter recording time. Betamaxes could only record for an hour? While their competitor could go for 2 to 4 hours. So you'd have to, like, watch a movie in multiple parts, I guess. Speaking of going for hours, the adult film industry chose VHS over Betamax because the tapes were cheaper and could record longer, and there's a pun there, but I can't quite come up with it. Oh shit, wait! Although it was too ahead of its time for the general public, it worked for Cookie from The novelty lasted for a bit, but in 2016, YouTuber LA Beast campaigned to bring the clear soda back, and, although only for a short time, was fucking train. If you or someone you know is an animator, please reach out to us in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time when the bad dream continues.